You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. An early morning shooting left one teenager dead on Sunday in Hazelton. Police were called to Beach and Wyoming streets for a report of a fight and shots fired just before 1 Sunday morning. Once on scene, officers found 2 gunshot victims and were notified about another 3, which were all transported to a local hospital for treatment. 1 victim was pronounced dead at the hospital, and the other 4 were transported to trauma centers for further treatment. All 5 victims were male juveniles. Anyone with information on the incident is being asked to contact the Hazelton Police Department at 570-459-4940. A fire in Tamaqua damaged a home late Saturday night. Firefighters were called to 139 Mahanoy Street around 11, where the rear of the home was fully engulfed in flames. Though the back of the home was difficult to reach, crews were able to quickly control the fire and put out the flames. The home sustained extensive fire, water, and smoke damage, but thankfully wasn't a total loss. No one was home at the time when the fire broke out, and no injuries were reported. The cause of that Tamaqua fire remains under investigation. A Berwick man was charged in federal court with aiding and abetting false statements on loan applications. 48-year-old Matthew Mensinger, who was the chief lending officer of a Berwick, PA-based institution, caused other individuals and entities to obtain approximately $690,000 in loans from the federal financial institution for alleged small business purposes between November 2011 to June 2020. However, the individuals and entities provided the money to Mensinger, who promised he'd repay those loans. Mensinger could face a maximum 30 years behind bars, supervised release following imprisonment, and a fine. Convicted cop killer Eric Frayn's parents remain silent as his attorneys continue to fight the death penalty in court. Their lack of cooperation in obtaining evidence that could help with appealing his conviction and death sentence continues to hinder on Frayn's attorneys. According to his attorneys, the couple refuses to speak to any attorneys representing Frayn based on advice from their attorneys, which are representing them in lawsuits filed by 3 of their son's victims. A report filed Wednesday cited Frayn's uncooperativeness and COVID-19 constraints as reasons why both attorneys are unable to develop critical evidence. An Edwardsville man was sentenced last week after having an inappropriate relationship with a minor. 26-year-old Donald Kuhl initially told police that the 14-year-old girl was his cousin and denied the relationship, but later admitted to having a sexual relationship with her. He was arrested back on March 3rd of last year and charged with statutory sexual assault and indecent assault. Kuhl pled guilty and was sentenced to serve 6 to 23 months in prison, followed by 3 years of probation. He was also deemed a violent sexual predator and must register as a sex offender. Another round of ceasefires was expected to begin today in the Ukraine. Russian officials said the ceasefires in several corridors would begin in order to allow civilians to leave the country, but previous measures have failed. Hundreds of thousands attempted to flee to safety over the weekend, but were forced into shelters as Russian forces continued to shell the cities. A senior Ukrainian official rejected proposals that lead civilians into Russia and its ally, Belarus. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian government's proposing at least 8 humanitarian corridors within the country to allow civilians to flee where there's no Russian shelling. Nearly 1.5 million so far have evacuated Ukraine in what's being called the fastest growing refugee crisis in Europe since World War II. Whether you travel near or far, expect to pay more at the pumps. The war in Ukraine caused prices to soar just within the past week. According to AAA, prices have risen 20% over the past few days and are expected to continue to climb. The statewide average is $4 a gallon, while consumers in the Hazelton area are paying $4.19 and above. The price increase in fuel is also expected to affect other areas such as grocery store items, as transportation costs hit an all-time high. Pennsylvania still has around $1.7 billion in American Rescue Plan money that still needs distributing. Wyln's Julie Stefanovich has more on how the governor plans to do just that.
Governor Tom Wolf is asking the General Assembly to take action and allocate $1.7 billion in federal American Rescue Plan funding to residents and small businesses.
Pennsylvanians need help, and the Commonwealth is now in a position to actually give that help. The steady improvement in our finances over the past 7 years gives us the chance to make good on some really big and outstanding commitments, including providing taxpayers with some relief.
The governor wants to use the one-time federal funding to help put residents back on a path to prosperity.
Let's take $1.7 billion of that ARPA funding. Remember, that's essentially free money. And I want to support the healthcare industry with that. I want to help them keep getting back on it. We've been investing in them, but do more. And I want to do what we've done here to actually invest in small businesses. They've really taken a big hit during the pandemic, and we still need to support them.
Back in 2020, the governor started the COVID-19 Relief Statewide Small Business Assistance Program.
We did about $192 million in the first round. We distributed that to about 10,000 businesses, and I want to do that again. I want to bring that back. More than half of the funding in that, more than half of the 10,000 businesses were small and historically disadvantaged businesses.
Wolf plans to give new life to the small business program.
So another $225 million injection into that program so that the businesses that did not get funding in that first round have a second chance, as well as businesses that continue to struggle with the aftermath of the pandemic, so that they can get the support they need to get back on their feet. The point is, we have the money to do that. We have the money from this one-time funding from ARPA, which we really ought to get out to the people who need it. We shouldn't sit on it.
The proposed plan also includes the PA Opportunity Program that would provide much-needed relief to workers to help pay for the rising cost of living expenses. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. One Luzerne County resident just woke up over $2 million richer. A winning Match 6 PA lottery ticket was sold at the Hazel Mini Mart in Hazel Township. That lucky resident matched all 6 winning numbers on the $2.16 million ticket. The Mini Mart will also receive $10,000 for selling the winning Match 6. Ticket winners can visit the lottery's website to find out how to claim their prizes. We've been updating you since last week on Wyln's big moves to our new studio and office locations. But in case you haven't heard, yes, we're leaving our current 10th Street Hazelton location to call our new spot along State Route 940 in Edwardsville, Hazel Township, home. You might even recognize the location since it was once home to Zola's Lamppost Restaurant. Wyln will be joining several other businesses at the building as their newest neighbors. But there's still plenty to be done before we're in, so movers and connectors will still be hard at work all week to make things official. So be sure to stay tuned for all the latest updates on our timeline. Coming up on Wyln News, a day of peace at LCCC, plus where the MLB lockout stands at this point in time. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Vanillo. I'm 12 years old, and this is your Wyln forecast for the week.
We want your child to be our Wyln Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on Wyln News and Wyln social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the Wyln News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazelton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazelton.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
Luzerne County Community College will be holding a Day of Peace this Wednesday, March 9th. The United Together Day of Peace will kick off with free iced or hot coffee in the Trailblazer Cafe starting at 10 a.m. alongside a variety of ethnic foods, followed by a program at 11 on the third floor of the campus center. A moment of silence will be observed at 11:15 on the Nanticoke main campus and their centers in Berwick, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Hazelton, Pittston, Northumberland, and Watsontown. Those in attendance will also have the chance to leave their painted handprint on a canvas collage, as well as write and hang a message of peace and unity on a peace tree. The program will also be available at all of the college's centers via Zoom. Fork Over Love is making its way back over to Hazelton for a meal distribution sponsored by Eye Care Specialists. The distribution will be held in front of Eye Care Specialists at 789 Airport Road at 5 p.m. on Thursday, March 24th. The nonprofit purchases hot chef-made meals from small independent restaurants, then distributes those meals at locations throughout the community for free. Everyone's welcome to drive up or walk through to receive food, but meals will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis. Head on over to forkoverlove.org or call 570-331-8362 to learn more. The Major League Baseball owner-initiated lockout has grown into the second longest stoppage in baseball history. For the first time in 27 years, a labor dispute has cost opening day and the first two regular season series. That's 91 games. Locked out players continued to bargain Sunday with their latest offer to the league, agreeing to on-field changes that the MLB sought after, including a pitch clock and larger bases or restrictions on the shift as early as the 2023 season. Despite that, the league said the proposal was moving backward, leaving both sides at a great distance between the proposals on major matters like the competitive balance tax thresholds, minimum salary, and the size of a new pre-arbitration bonus pool. Two more series cancellations would wipe out 93 more games to make it 184 total, which would be on the verge of threatening players with the loss of service time and delayed free agency. Coming up on DeShore's News Choice, we bring back Dustin's Adventureland and Community in You, plus who's leading the way again this week. Stay with us and find out.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazelton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazelton.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazelton, 570-454-7229.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
How you doing, everybody? This is Ricardo Santos from J Zapata. Woo-hoo. You remember this old monster? Well, we're moving into a building. It's a big restaurant. Come and check us out. This is what we had on our menu. Regular burrito. We have the taco americano. Let's go with the Mexicans. They don't have a sombrero, but there you go. Corn tortilla, gluten-free. This is the birria tacos, enchiladas, nachos, flan, 3 leches. That is right. Come at 620 Hillside Drive, grand opening for J Zapata Mexican Restaurant. Whoop, whoop.
Blb Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
We're still coming to Jimmy's.
We are too!
Welcome to Community and You here on WYLN. I'm Julia Wiegand, and today we have Jim and Jeff from Dustin's Adventureland, the president and vice president of the organization. How are the two of you?
Great. How about yourself?
Doing fine.
Not too bad. Now, today we are going to dive into what Dustin's Adventureland is all about, their mission, who they serve, when they started, so on and so forth. So I guess we'll just start off with the background information and possibly the mission of your organization.
Back in 2019, it all started with the hopes to have a special need egg hunt for children with disabilities. So we formed that, and we held that in April of 2019, and that was very successful. So we wanted to continue to raise funds to do that. So we held a large egg hunt. We had 15 costumes there. We had state police with beeping eggs come up. We had all different areas for wheelchair-bound children, and it took off very well. So we had some money left over, and we had discussed about putting a handicap swing in at a local playground here in Pottsville. And I spoke with Mr. Wilmer here. He installs them for a living, and he had said to me that he had decided against the swing set and would like to install a whole playground. To fast forward, we reached out, we got some land with Minersville Borough, and we have a 20-year lease currently with that. To date, we have raised over $150,000. We received also on top of that a $100,000 state grant. We are just about $45,000 short of our goal, which we hope to raise in the next couple months. And we're going to begin phase 1 of our construction, hopefully next month, which is a new handicap ramp installed in the entrance to the facility.
And we have a ton of in-kind donations lined up too. Different companies in the county and throughout that are willing to provide us with services and products that'll aid us in achieving this goal.
That is absolutely incredible. Now, can we get a little more specific about where the playground is going to be located at?
It's going to be in the Minersville Recreation Complex, which is in the heart of Minersville. They have a large pool there. They also have a smaller playground and several baseball fields, softball fields, and the Minersville Lions Club has their pavilion there as well. So we're right in the center of that. It was an old Teener League field that was overgrown, and we're going to be building there. And we're in discussions right now with Minersville Borough for an additional 9,000 square feet on top of what we have now. So that's going to be possibly phase 3 of the project to make the playground even larger.
And what makes it attractive is there's parking available. There's actually 2 parking lots that are currently available for us to utilize, as well as the Lions and the general public. And there's also a walking path around the recreation complex. So there are different points of entrance to the playground, to the pavilion, to the whole recreational complex. So everything will tie in together as far as with the path and the location of all the, the pool and the fields and everything else. So it's going to be a nice situation for us, as well as tying everything in with all the other amenities that are there.
Now, I know with the pandemic, organizations have struggled to keep things going over the past 2 years, going on 3 years now. And obviously, I'm sure your organization is not excluded from that. So I guess we could start off by talking about the upcoming events that the organization has.
Yeah, we have a few upcoming events. Like you said, the COVID-19 really hit us hard. We had to cancel a lot of events that we had planned, which would have drew large crowds. But we have a solid board. We have 8 people right now on our board, and highly dedicated, motivated. I'm always setting up different things for them to sell and do. So I have to give them a big shout out. I mean, to raise $150,000 in less than 2 years during a pandemic was pretty impressive for such a small group. But we do have a couple of events coming up. We have the Skook Easter Bunny Tour, which we started 2 years ago when the pandemic first hit. The malls were canceling the Easter Bunny. A lot of venues, they weren't having the Easter Bunny around. So we came up with an idea to take the Easter Bunny to the people. So the first year we did 11 municipalities through Skook County. And last year we did 17, and we're hoping to do 17 or 18 this year. And we take the Easter Bunny around in the convertible through a special route that we post on social media. And we get a sponsor for each town, and we throw candy out to the kids and allow them to see the Easter Bunny. Stop here and there for some pictures, and gives them a little sense of normalcy just to get out and about. So they really appreciate that.
One thing, or actually 2 things. Jeff's the Easter Bunny, so he does a heck of a job tossing the candy to the children. And during the pandemic in 2020, we went and served lunches to the needy people. We did, what was it,
10,562.
10,562 lunches, all with donations. So we weren't able to, obviously help our organization per se, but as our organization grew, we tried to reach out to the public and serve them as best we could. And it was a lot of work, but the people from the town came through and helped us do all this, and it turned out to be a very, very inspiring and a very nice thing. We really appreciate everybody that helped us with it.
And I'm sure more people watching this right now, learning all about Dustin's Adventureland, want to help just the same. So aside from the events, how can our viewers and our audience, people interested, do their part in helping Dustin's Adventureland?
They can reach out to us through Facebook. We accept donations through PayPal. We also sell bricks and blocks that are engraved, personally engraved. You can get your business name on there in memory of someone, in honor of someone. So we have those. We also have billboards that we're going to hang around the perimeter of the facility over in Minersville once it's built. So we're selling those as well. Also just, buying tickets. We post everything on social media. We're very active on social media.
The organization does so much. The 2 of you do so much for the community. Thank you for telling us all about your organization.
We appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everybody watching out there. Dustin's Adventureland. Check them out on social media. They've got a ton of events coming up. So do your part, help out, check out the events, and we'll see you next time right here on Wyln in Community and You.
Want to learn to ski? The Pocono Mountains is the place to be. With lessons for every age. You'll be skiing or snowboarding in no time.
Now you're doing it by yourself.
And learning is fun. And the views are beautiful. Choose from 6 amazing ski areas. Learn more at PoconoSki.com.
John's Family Restaurant in the Churchill Mall, Hazelton. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and desserts. Homemade soups, sandwiches, entrees, and there's a kids menu. Lunch and dinner specials daily. John's Family Restaurant in the Churchill Mall.
This week for Let's Talk Chiropractic, where we'll have Miriam on with her incredible disposition, how she overcame all these terrible things in a car accident. Tune in.
Two Italian Guys Pizzeria. 3 West Diamond Avenue in Hazelton has all your favorites, from pizza, hoagies, salads, entrees, wings, and sides. Always made with the freshest ingredients. Call them at 570-459-2783.
Penn State Hazelton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton, your ER partner.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Jane Dougherty is leading the way again to kick off this week's series.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leading the Way, where we explore the backstories of those paving NEPA toward a better future. This week we're joined by co-chair of the American Cancer Society Greater Hazelton Telethon, Jane Dougherty. Jane, welcome.
Thank you.
So let's start at the beginning. Tell us about you growing up as a kid, what you did and what your aspirations were.
I grew up in Hazelton, and I learned early on about volunteering. My dad and my grandfather were Boy Scout leaders. My 2 older brothers were Scouts, so when it was time to go to a meeting, I had to go too because the rest of the family was involved. So I grew up appreciating that at a very early age. My mom also volunteered actually with the American Cancer Society or the church or pretty much any cause that needed help in our community. So it became very apparent to me that our community was a better place when we volunteered to make it so.
Check back tomorrow night as Jane continues leading the way into part 2 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.